People often ask, what's in a name? Well, hundreds of billions of dollars. That's according to research firm Kantar, which says the world's most successful businesses have a major edge over their rivals due to brand recognition alone.
The pandemic basically has accelerated what was already there in terms of some of the business trends that we've seen around digitalization, e-commerce. E-commerce this year grew to like 15%, which is massive. So everybody, any sectors actually really rally behind, embracing digitalization and also around the whole e-commerce.
For more on this, let's bring in Kantar's Chief Marketing Officer, Nathalie Burdet, is in London. Welcome to the show. Now, first of all, what are the major changes that you've seen in this year's ranking?
So one thing is the remarkable growth. 42% is how much the top 100 have grown. And as we've seen in the little clip, so that amounts for $7.1 trillion. And just to put it in context, this is equivalent to the combined GDP of France and Germany. Amazon is number one for the last 3 years, and it is the first time that they've reached a brand value of $500 billion, alongside Apple. Apple is number two, and they too got a value of $500 billion. In terms of other changes that we've seen, technology is playing a very important role in driving that growth. Amongst the top 10, 7 of the companies are actually technology companies. And also what we've seen is that amongst the top 100, technology has actually enabled a lot of those businesses. So for example, we've seen Gucci growing its brand value because they harness the platform like TikTok, or Domino's because they jump on the digital and delivery bandwagon. And some other trends are the US brands that have grown the most. They now represent 74% of the total value of the top 100, and 56 brands are American brands as part of the top 100. And finally, obviously, the Chinese brands that have risen dramatically this year.
So now, when we talk about the biggest brands, of course, everyone knows about Amazon or Apple. We expect to see them there. Tell me, have you seen any surprises in these rankings for this year?
I think the surprises are more around the rise of the Chinese brands, but also in some of the sectors. Like, for example, within a pandemic, we wouldn't think that brands like, the luxury brands would really grow, but actually they have. But also Chinese brands like Mutai, which is the fastest alcohol brand in the world, and they actually ranked at number 11 this year. And obviously, brands like Alibaba, Tencent have continued to grow. Obviously, with the pandemic, we all jump onto online shopping. E-commerce grew by 15%. So the likes of Alibaba, Tencent have done really well. But to be honest, that has gone across many sectors. So any brands that are impact within the value chains on online social, online shopping, have benefited from that trend.
Do you think there's, very quickly, any sort of lessons for the smaller up-and-coming brands that they can learn from the experiences of these large brands?
Absolutely, from any brands, to be honest. Brand needs to be seen as an asset. You need to invest in your brand. We've been doing the Kantar Brandsy study for the last 16 years. And obviously, we've seen across many crises that brands that are successful and that are invested in recover twice as fast from any crisis, are resilient, and deliver more shareholder value. So really investing in your brand consistently is a must. Continue to talk to your consumer, understand how their needs are evolving. And we've seen during the pandemic that actually consumer needs, perception, behaviors are really evolving, what they want
I'm
from
afraid we're going to have to
brand.
leave it there, but thank you
Okay,
so much,
sorry.
Nathalie Burdet, for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.